Hey gang, welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage. Today's video, well, I don't know if I'm going to get much done, but I will tell you that I got some parts in for 68 Camaro known as basket case. I know in my previous video I said Mustang rebuild basket case, and a lot of people noticed that, made comments about it. You know, I've worked on Mustangs for so long and done so much with Mustangs that they're always on my mind. But this is definitely a Camaro, 1968. And if you saw the other video in the last sequence, I was working on trying to get some metal stuff together for the trunk opening. And I had ordered those parts and they have arrived. So we're going to open up the box and take a look at those. I also had some people comment or send me some emails about the other pieces and parts that are missing from the car. And we're going to take a look at that as well. Now, I will show you the rain gutter piece. This is what I ordered, the 3-piece set with the 2 side rain gutters and then the center piece. I could have ordered just the side pieces, but I figured I'll just get the kit and that way have all the pieces. I don't know why, because I'm not going to need it. You know, this piece up here, the trunk opening and the package shelf is all one piece, so I'm not going to need that center piece. But anyway, I ordered it. Also, these are the other one of the other pieces I was talking about in the last video, is this flat panel that goes up underneath the quarter panel in these areas. Somebody, sorry if I don't mention your name correctly, but somebody had sent me a link to those pieces, and so I ordered those pieces as well, and now I'm waiting for those. But along with that, a comment was made about some inner structure piece that attaches to the quarter panel up here where the vent window or the quarter window goes in. And I looked at the website and it pointed out that a lot of times when people remove these quarters, that piece gets set aside or lost. And in my case, I don't have those pieces, so those are other pieces that I had ordered. Maybe we're going to open up the box and look at the rain gutters and see what I can get done today. Maybe not much. It's been a busy last week or so. About 7-8 days have been really busy for me, family stuff and different things like that, and it is what it is. So let me see what I can get done today. So this is the box. This was ordered through Classic Industries, so we'll get it opened up and get a look at it. I will say they did a fine job wrapping this up. I don't know how many sheets of paper material are there, but there it is. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10 sheets of this paper material. So, hey, I can save that for Christmas. All right. The labeling on this is OER, original equipment, and of course here is your let's see, 67, 69 trunk water strip gutter set, and you know it doesn't say anything else on there, which is fine. You know, it's interesting though, now that I think about it, the label, when I ordered this, it did say Classic Industry or Industries. However, I ordered these off of eBay. So maybe it was through a Classic Industry link of some sort. But now you can see in more detail those rain gutters and how they're shaped. So I need to make sure these are going to fit. I already have or had this piece anyway. Now I have 2. So I may be able to part with these if somebody needs them. So those can be set aside. Alright, so I know in the last video when I talked about this piece, the original rain gutter, I had assumed that the pieces kind of wove between or went underneath on top of this gray piece and underneath this piece. That is not correct. As I look at this more, this original rain gutter would have gone underneath both of those pieces. And I can also tell by looking at the drill marks where they had taken this apart. So that simplifies things. This section over here, you can see what's left of the original, say, package shelf piece, and this all went underneath all of that. And you can't really tell what this shape would have been down here. It's kind of, distorted from being removed. But what I can do is push down on this hinge, rotate this in. Now this may take a few tries until I get it exactly where I need it. But it's also going to help me understand or clarify the placement of all the panels, because you're not going to really change the shape of this rain gutter. That's the shape it needs to be. So up here, I can bring it around. Let me show you a little better angle there. It comes up around this piece, the package shelf, and it'll end up with a spot weld there and one underneath. This I'll be able to weld through where those holes already are in this upper piece, and then the quarter is going to have to come down to match, which all makes sense. The lower corner here in the back, this has too much of a curve to it. I'm not going to be able to change that. I don't think I need to, but I may need to trim this piece. It's already up against the curve of this quarter, and so I'm going to have to just play with this and get it situated where it needs to be. But this helps clarify a lot of things. I'm going to look at the other side and see how it compares, because as I mentioned in the last video, these two quarter panels are different from different manufacturers. So again, I put the piece in. I can get this to kind of go together where it needs to be, but I do see a big difference down here in this corner. There's a lot of fighting going on. A lot of fighting. And I don't know if it has to do with some of the curve here and how the shape is, or just the panel alignment. But it's going to take probably a few tries to get everything where I need it. That's a little bit better. But I will make it happen. But yeah, I'm gonna have to trim this. This is all part of it, right? Test fit, test fit, test fit. So, okay. Now at least I have an idea of what I need to work with and go from there. Here's something else I want to point out while we're here. I talked about this three-piece set, and basically if you had a rusted out channel, you could cut this off and replace it with this new piece. That's why they have these cutouts here, so that you can compare and line them up so that they fit properly. Now what I am noticing real quick is the difference in this piece, and of course this is aftermarket, not an original piece, but down here at the end, I don't know if you can see it very well, they have kind of just a drop. It's more of a controlled opening. It narrows up a little bit. And if you take the corner piece, it also has a more defined end to it, and that's where these two pieces interact and they kind of lock together. What it gives you is about 1 inch that you can adjust this to get it where you need it. What I am noticing with this, on this piece up here, it is just one straight shot. There is no notch, let's say, where this will just has a play area. It's snug and it fits, but it's a little bit different than this repair piece that comes with the kit. In fact, this other one that I have that existed from some other repair, it doesn't have that defined notch shape as well. So maybe you can see it, maybe not, I don't know. Camera may not pick it up as well as the eye can. So just a little bit different. Okay, so I have the package shelf sitting where I believe it should sit. Well, I did go around and mark where I wanted some holes. These will be welded from the inside and go through. Up here, the previous owner, he had used a little punch and punched these small holes, which are very close to the holes that were in this mating piece. So I'm going to come close to those as well, or try to copy those. Same way over here, marked where I want my welds to be. And he did punch a hole already in this. I'm just going to try to repunch it a little bigger and move it a little bit aft. Same thing here. These little holes I'm going to enlarge. And then on the inside, where I've talked about it before, these Y-shaped pieces here, I don't believe they're in correctly. I think they're angled slightly. They don't look square to me, but I'm not going to move them. I'm going to leave them where they are because that's how the car was put together. And there's a series of holes that'll follow that pattern, I guess. Now what I also did is on the back side of those locations, I tried to trace the shape of the Y piece so that I can make sure I don't put the hole in the wrong location. Just a way to keep up with it. So what I want to do. So now I want to take this back out and start punching holes in it. I'm going to use this puncher that I showed before. There'll be a link in the bottom, an Amazon link that you can look at getting one of those. They have various sizes for the punch. This happens to be 5/16. I think it's the same as 8mm, I believe. So let's get that out. Oh, one more thing. This area right here, I talked about it, that when the rain gutter is in place, this needs to be flush. So I did line that back up so that it is more flush as it should be. And I'll make sure that's in that location when I start welding. Okay, I have all the holes punched and the backside blended. Got the paint off where they're going to make contact. I did have one that was in the wrong location. It was a hole that the other guy had punched and I just copied it. It ended up, I needed to move it over a little bit. And then I think I have one extra hole somewhere in here that'll just have to be filled. But all the holes are in place, and I've cleaned up a little bit more on the contact areas, so I think it's ready to be set in. So one of my main focal points is making sure this and this are level and even. So I'm going to pull this back. That's pretty close. The idea being, when this piece goes in, these line up. I just felt there's a little burr on the back side of that, so I'm going to grind that off to make sure that it goes up. So, little details. I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I clamped this side in, that's level. But I also found on the back side of where they had drilled, there are some burrs on that which will affect the trunk gutter piece from fitting. Okay, much better. Yep. So at this point I'm pretty confident with how everything is looking. This mating flange right here is flush. All of the internal area or overlap is smooth and flush. This again lines up nice here. There's a transition difference right here, but it's not critical. It is just a mount point for the hinge, and it is the same basically on both sides. It just sits up a little, but if it's flush here, there's nothing you can do about that. Over here, same thing. If it's flush on that face, nice and smooth through here, and then on the inside, everything seems to be lined up where it needs to be. So I may put a couple welds on here. I don't know if I'm going to weld it all on this video, but I'll get some welds on it and we'll go from there. Alright, I'm committed now. This is welded on. I have this welded, several welds along here. There's still a couple to do, but I just wanted to get it in place so it wasn't moving. And then some of these here as well. So looks like everything is going to work out and fit. Alright, that's going to be the end of this video. Now, I did not completely weld everything in, but I at least showed you what you need to do and where you need to weld and make all those things happen. You know, if you're doing one of these projects, any information is going to be helpful, and hopefully you got something out of this. Now, in the next video, I will probably be working on making those rain gutters actually fit, making the quarter panels really fit the rain gutters, and try to get all that stuff interacting so that I can weld everything together. I will complete the welds on that package shelf. I want to get that little piece of metal out of the side. You probably may have seen it earlier that I've been using as a strut brace. That conflicts with the actual piece that goes on top, the like the finished look package tray. So I can't get that in place until I get that piece of metal out of there. But that's part of the process. You know, I wanted to reinforce that area over there, and I did. And now once I have all this welded in, I can take that out and move forward. But I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for subscribing. If you would, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, and if you're interested, there's a little thank you button down below the video. If you want to leave me a tip, I appreciate that. You know, I've had plenty of people say they'd like to offer me a beer or something for helping them with their projects. So this is an opportunity for anybody that wants to participate in that way. But again, thanks for being here, and until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.